chapter O Canada, page 55 out of 62. This is the last the second last bunch of recordings for this chapter in English. A little cold but sunny. I walked to the Goose Bay and Happy Valley exit. After 45 minutes of wait, a man, reference 109, delivering helicopter fuel, brought me about 12 kilometers on the highway. I walked and hitched in the same time, another 5 kilometers, pretty much no traffic. It's like minus 40, so you just but sunny, and it's dry. It's cold dry, but it's dry, so you walk with your backpack and you're well dressed, you're okay. You're warm. By 1400, so it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon now, a pickup truck stopped straight across from me, but on the other side of the road, aboard 2 men, reference 110. They made me understood that at this time there wouldn't be any more traffic going towards Labrador City, and offered me a ride back to Happy Valley. I accepted. I asked them to drop me back at the same spot that I started in the morning. It was a little light. By 3 p.m., a man offered me a ride to Muskrat Falls in the middle of nowhere. He would drop me off. With the sun going down, I refused. I decided that the hitchhiking day was officially over. I went to Tim. I stayed there until 2 o'clock, reading the Bible and working on my book. At closing, I went to set up my tent not far from the Bethel Pentecostal Church. I woke up at 6 a.m., packed up, and arrived at Tim at 7:15. Minus 27, said the screen. I searched for my change, but only found a few quarters. I bummed $1 from a man. He gave me a toonie. Bonus, I won another coffee with the contest Roll the Rim to Win. I kept it. I left him by 8:20. I returned to yesterday's spot. Almost right away, a young native man, reference 111, picked me up and brought me directly on the highway. Before I left him, he gave me a pack with 6 cigarettes in it. We smoked a cigarette on the way, and he gave me a pack with 6. Right away after dropping me off, a man, reference 112, took me, originally from Edmonton. He was a bush camp supervisor. He gave me a 46-kilometer ride, and dropping me off, he told me he would drop me right there, and his entrance would go in the bush and the highway. That's it. He told me not to move from there, since there was lots of traffic coming out of these roads. 9 a.m., I followed his advice. I stayed. He disappeared on the said road. He just went down, he just disappeared. The pickup truck that came out of it stopped. It was going down, and this pickup came out. The passenger window went down, and the driver asked me, "Do you speak French?" "Oui, monsieur." Talk about something. I didn't even wait 1 minute, and even more, I got a 1,200-kilometer ride to Bécomo, Quebec. Jean-Yves Gagnon, reference 113, 72 years old, retired, doing odd contracts, his own time off, so he's heading back home in Saguenay-Lac-Saint-Jean, founder of Association des Sauvaginiers, the bird hunting or watching association, and also a writer. Les Histoires d'Amélie, Amelie's Stories. In Labrador City, he bought me an apple turnover and coffee, supper at Manix 5 Restaurant Motel, and dropped me off at 24-hour Tim in Bécomo. Before leaving, he gave me a $10 Tim card and a $10 bill. Salut Jean-Yves, and thanks for everything. At Tim, Marie-Pierre and Marie-Josée gave me such an incredible greeting, both staff there. For a starter, one of the 2 looked on her iPhone to verify the schedule of the ferries for Matane. 1. 11 a.m. from Godbout, so the other town. About 15 kilometers or 20. 2. 3 p.m. from Bécomo. I'll leave from Godbout. She told me also that the ticket was $18. I got $10 cash and a $10 Tim card. One of the 2 bought it from me, from her pocket. So now, $20 cash, okay to cross. That's not all. They offered me a full meal, tea, cream of carrot soup, bacon turkey toasted sandwich, and all the trimming, and a caramel apple fritter. Thanks to both of you, Marie-Pierre and Marie-Josée. I worked on the book a good part of the night. I fell asleep by 4:30 and woke up at 6. I took a small shot of espresso at 75 cents, and at 6:30, to give me a boost, Like at 6:30, I a little espresso, right? And I left at 7:15. I started at around 7:30 and got picked up immediately by Fred, reference 114, with him on board of his GMC Zenith 1977. There was also Tizer, 7 years old, male, mixed pit bull mastiff. Super nice. That was a nice dog. A big dog, but a nice dog. He had problem with his windshield wiper system. Fred stopped twice on the side. I cleaned the windshield with snow and we go again. He brought me directly to the ferry's waiting line. Thanks, Fred. I came in the terminal at 8:30. The staff made me a coffee. They probably could see me coming down the hill for the last half hour. The ferry is at 11 o'clock. We got time to doze off. It's 8:30. The ferry is at 11 o'clock. We got time to doze off a bit. Once aboard the ferry, I slept right away until the arrival. Once in Matan, minus 10 degrees Celsius, wind up to 50 to 60 kilometers, I went to the Tim to warm up. I went to the Tremplin, kind of a homeless or people in difficulty shelter. They were full. I went to a 24-hour Tim and beside the McDo open until midnight. A bit at McDo and a night at Tim. I left at 7, and at 7:20, René Philibert, reference 115, aboard the Chevrolet Equinox, pick up his first hitchhiker. So I was his first hitchhiker, man. René has never hitchhiked. He's a dry dock marine mechanic. He dropped me off in Méchain. Thanks, René. It's Valentine's Day. Stopped. Cindy, reference 116, and Joanne, passenger up front, and Chloe, the little girl sitting in the back. I don't have a girlfriend, but 3 women stop for me. Must be doing something good. Cindy is a nurse, aide. As for Joanne, she's Chloe's babysitter, and Chloe is 4 years old. They dropped me off at Saint-Anne-des-Monts. Thanks for Valentine's Day. Unloaded, I loaded right back in with Normand Raymond, reference 117. He brought me at the Café du Parc in Marsouilles. He made me savor coffee and a vegetable soup and gave me cigarettes. Thanks, Norman. Going uphill, Rodrigue, reference 118 in Suzanne, took me. Rodrigue and I have been in school, live and work together. At Tim, I bum of him a couple $. Thanks to both of you. We arrive in Gaspé. It's coffee time. I spent 3 nights in Gaspé. First one, Saturday, February 14, at my buddy Michel Packwood. Supper, shower, talk and laughed a lot, and then sleep. On Sunday, I set up my tent under the Gaspé Bridge. Waking up, I realized that there was a beautiful snow and windstorm. I waited a bit before I came out. I walked around, had a small coffee at Tim. It's straight not nice out. The number 132 road is closed, both sides of the Gaspé. I returned to my tent and to read and sleep. When I arrived in Gaspé, I was not satisfied yet from my crossing of Newfoundland and Labrador. Before starting it, I thought that it would have taken me at least 2 weeks, but in all it took me only 10 days to make my way back to Gaspé. I was still road hungry. I told myself that I had never been in Saint-Élie-de-Caxton. It's a very small town, very small town. The storyteller Fred Pellerin, Pellerin, check it out, village. Looking on the internet, I saw that there was a show there on Saturday, February 21st, so in about 6 days, at the Rond Coin, the round corner. On Tuesday, before taking down my tent, I went to the Cégep library to send to the Corner Brook Western Star editor a letter thanking the whole Newfoundland and Labrador population for their incredible hospitality. After I contacted my niece Veronique, she was in town and she offered me to spend the night at her place in Douglastown. Very nice night with some friends. In the morning, she was heading back to the Gaspé to work, so we left a little earlier and had breakfast together at Ron's restaurant. After our breakfast, a quick kiss and we separated, her for Gaspé and me to Hitch. After starting back, a man reference 119 picked me up. He's a Sun Life Insurance Company representative. He was going to see some clients in Douglastown. Once dropped off, I waited a bit and 2 men reference 120 took me aboard their car. I believe that they were father and son. They dropped me off at the Chandler McDo. Christiane, my sister, was finishing her work at 1600. I went to her place for supper and to spend the night. It's always with an immense pleasure that I visit my sister every time I come by. The last time was at Christmas. Thanks, Christiane and Mario. Morning time, I left for a very beautiful 16-kilometer walk to Grand River. It's nice, cold, a little windy. My going to Grand River goal was to pay a visit to my best buddy Renaud, yes, the one that got me chiking. We watched a few movies, he played guitar a bit, his own composition of course. Went to see our buddy Sylvain, obviously the night was short. Friday, let's go. Saint-Denis-de-Caxton show is 850 km away tomorrow night. It's windy. We walk. Alex Dugas, reference 121, retrieved me from the wind aboard his 2011 Ford Ranger. He's a college physical education teacher. Alex, the new father, was going to the Chandler hospital to pick up his girlfriend and his 6 days old only brand new daughter. He dropped me at the McDo. I kept on going immediately, quickly. Maryse Arsenault, reference 122, took me in her 2013 Honda Civic. She's a teacher in Cap d'Espoir. She hitchhiked before Vancouver to visit her sister. She stayed there 10 years. I guess she kind of liked it. Or to get ready stock. She dropped me off in the wind and snow in Bonaventure. We keep on going. A man, reference 123, injured for life, picked me up aboard his pickup and dropped me off in New Richmond. Immediately after, another man, reference 124, took me. He was going to Moria Hospital for treating his ear infection. In Moria, snow and wind, storm, we continue. A woman, reference 125, picked me up. We didn't talk much. The weather and road condition took all our attention. She dropped me off in Carleton. It ain't nice, it's windy, let's keep on going. While I was walking and battling against the snow and wind, a cab stopped. My sign said Pointe à la Croix. He asked me if I was going there. I answered him yes, but I didn't have enough money for a taxi. François Briand, reference 126, told me no problem. That he had to go back to the taxi company in Kimballton. Anyway, so Kimballton, you go to Pointe à la Croix and then you cross the bridge and you turn left, of course, right? François hitchhiked in the 70s. He drives taxi for the past 12 years already. He dropped me off in Cross Point at the Pastelli restaurant. Thanks, François. I drank coffee there and again made a sign, this one saying Rimouski. If I made it there on the same night, I would be in a good position to get to the show the next day in Saint-Denis-Caxton, because now we're Friday, right? And tomorrow is Saturday and we're going to get there. The snow stopped falling. Light wind, but it's not warm. I stayed there a good while. The day started to get old. Finally, a man, reference 127, picked me up and dropped me off at the motel restaurant in Matapédia. I went in to see what time they closed and went back out to hitchhike again, one more time. By 1700, it was well overdone. I entered the restaurant. I took the appropriate time to eat well. I stayed in the restaurant until its closing. It opens at 7 a.m. I planted my tent behind the Matapédia welcome sign. I used its post to tie up my tent, because you never know the wind, right? I used its post, the sign, right, to tie up my tent to it, just in case. At 6:30, while I was taking down my tent, a man stopped by to tell me, he rolled down his window, "Hey, it's minus 27. I came in the restaurant at 7. I had breakfast, read the newspaper while waiting that it got a little lighter outside, and it warmed up a bit. At 8:30, I left the restaurant. At 8:30, 8:0830. I walked to a good spot. At 8:45, a semi-truck stopped.